Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Meek again and welcome to a new dragging video. Today we're doing one story, something that happened last year, which I've been thinking about, and I thought we should dedicate like a single dragging video to this entire story because I think it's just one of the craziest things I've ever heard. So it is from Women's Wear Daily, aka WWD, which is like the fashion industry's like top like B2B business to business trade publication, and they have titled it Giambattista Valli attracts attention on Chinese social media for the wrong reason. So I'm going to read a portion of the story and then we will discuss why Giambattista Valli got dragged. I'm going to just read it here from my laptop. Giambattista Valli's haute couture dress has metaphorically caught on fire in China due to a recent case of alleged miscommunication with a VIP Chinese client. The client is a Chinese socialite and entrepreneur named Lu Min. She's also a popular Chinese influencer with more than 1.36 million followers on Instagram, Weibo, Douyin, which is what TikTok is called in China, and Xiaohongshu. Known as Lulu the Couture Queen, Lu began buying couture gowns from brands such as Valentino and Giorgio Armani Privé more than a decade ago. A few days ago, Lu shared on Chinese social media that a Maison Valley couture piece she ordered last season ended up on Anya Taylor-Joy without her consent, which she claimed is a violation of the unspoken couture clienteling rule. This is getting messy. Let's carry on. They then go on to explain the look. Honestly, I don't even think the look matters at this point. And then this is now where someone from Giambattista Valli's PR team is responding. As common practice in haute couture maisons, to ensure exclusivity on a haute runway look, as this was the case, it's imperative to specify your request for such exclusivity. At the time of the order, a spokesperson for Valli told WWD on Friday, without such specification, the down payment of the exclusivity fee, the piece may be made available to other clients, as the client knows this time no such request was made. Lu's assertions also lack historical precedent, according to industry experts. Haute couture is a production model based on a repetition and adaptation to a body, but historically it was rare that a client had exclusivity on a model. The name of fashion historian Alexander Sampson. He cited examples such as Vionnet, who would go on to produce 100 orders of the same dress in the 1920s, as well as the incident with the Duchess of Windsor encountering another guest wearing the same dress as her in 1966. Exclusivity arrangements, if there are any, are between the house and the client. There's no tradition per se, but generally speaking, the head of sales ensures that two clients don't end up with the same outfit at the same event in the same design. Okay? And then there's another expert who's basically saying, there's a clear line between a celebrity wearing a dress on the red carpet for a handful of houses and a couture client owning a piece. Nonetheless, he considers dressing a VIP publicly before the client had an opportunity to wear her purchase as a faux pas. I agree. I mean, this is outrageous. This is an outrage. It's a lack of understanding of the culture of haute couture. It's all about manners, and in this case, I think the house behaved badly. However, he agreed there are no hard and fast rules in couture. Originally, couture was made to measure, but people want the original replicated in their size or to change a detail and so on and so forth. Lu claimed that she had tried on the dress at Valli's showroom in January and placed a 200,000 RMB deposit, which is about 27,000 US dollars, with plans to pick up the look in June, since Lu spends most of her time living in Shanghai, China. An agent recommended visiting Valli's showroom in the first place. I happened to be in Paris, she said, so I went and picked out a look. I told them I won't need a fitting since I know they can't fly stuff over to China. Listen, Miss Lu is a baller, honey. She knows they can't. She knows she low-key dragging Giambattista Valli, saying, I know you guys don't have no money to fly people to Shanghai. Okay? So she was in Paris, she was in town, she was like, look, let me just, help these people out because I'm here. Miss Lu goes on to say, I think it's very inappropriate of them to do this. I've been buying couture for years at places like Valentino and Armani Privé. When they decided to loan out a look I've purchased, it's happened with Lady Gaga and Julianne Moore before. They've always shown respect and notified me first, then made visible changes to the look. She also claimed Valley did not inform her that she needed to make specific requests about exclusivity when placing her order. When I buy from Armani Privé, they would tell me if I want global exclusivity, there's an additional cost. The brand should at least ask me if I want to pay to get more global exclusivity before offering the celebrity. According to Lou, Valley's executives would take care of the aftermath via direct communication. However, another company representative contacted Lou about redesigning the look as a workaround. I don't want a refund. I just want to know what went wrong, and I would like a sincere apology. I am never buying anything from Giambattista Valli's brand again, she added. At the end of the day, it's just a dress, but it shows to tell how brands treat people and how that reflects the haute couture ethos. She said in a social media post which was trending on Douyin, the Chinese version of TikTok. Okay. You know, let me put this laptop down. Let's get into it. This is messy. Okay. Giambattista Valli Boo Boo and the suits who work at the Valli house, you guys are messy. Someone pulled your card. This is literally the luxury haute couture definition of pulling someone's card, calling them out on their stuff. She stood on business. She spoke to the preeminent luxury fashion business publication, Women's Wear Daily, and stood on business and said, I don't want your money. I don't want the refund. I don't want a workaround, I beg your pardon. I want an apology, and also I'm never shopping from you again. I agree. What good is your apology? First of all, while they make those points, like they have the industry experts explaining that, you know, the whole exclusivity thing, I can respect that, but at the end of the day, she paid for the dress. If I've paid for the dress, I don't care if this woman right here, who is my favorite artist, as you know, if you support me, you know, or this woman right here, who's my favorite rapper. If you support my personal accounts, you know, these are my two favorite artists. I love them. I don't care if they have seen something I like, if I'm at a couture house. If I have paid for it, it is mine. And you have no right to give that dress. Now, of course, these are first world problems. These aren't real problems. And I'm glad that she acknowledged it's just a dress. But it's not about the fact that it's a dress. It's about the disrespect. They were thirsty and desperate to have a really famous actress. Anya Taylor-Joy is obviously a huge actress at the moment. She's been in heaps of films, and she's the face of Dual Beauty and stuff like that. They're obviously thirsty and desperate, to have her wear their clothes. There've actually been studies shown, and other designers have come forward throughout the years to say that when celebrities wear their clothes, it doesn't actually translate into a bump in sales that much, and it sometimes turns into a cost for the designer. The designer ends up incurring costs in order to create a special one-off piece for a celebrity. It helps them promote their brand, but it doesn't necessarily mean that people are more inclined to buy something because a celebrity is wearing it. And I think because the dawn and age of celebrity has changed. People don't care about celebrities anymore. I mean, I work in marketing and I can see it myself. You could start a brand today and never have a celebrity wear it, and you could make millions of dollars with no celebrities. People don't care anymore. People are really invested in the lives of influencers and content creators. People just don't care. I mean, look at the Skims and Dolce & Gabbana collab. It was like a meteor that just flew across the earth for 2 seconds, and everyone moved on. They were like, yeah, we sold out. How many units did you make? People don't care anymore about celebrity, maybe the way they did 20 years ago. Social media has changed the concept of celebrity. Everyone can become a celebrity. So I think that's also a sort of element of this that I find particularly irritating, because it's first of all, you have a Chinese couture client who is a top tier influencer in her home country, one of the most critical luxury market in the world, China. This is an haute couture client from mainland China who lives in Shanghai, who has 1.3 million followers on Chinese social media. And you guys couldn't get it right. We all know how important China is to luxury fashion brands. We know how important South Korea and Japan are as well, and Singapore. Why on earth would you rankle and make upset someone she's not just unboxing normal prêt-à-porter. This is a couture customer. Brands who make couture should want to preserve couture, particularly in this country, China, which is the crystallizing flashpoint for luxury sales. What clients in China, Japan, and South Korea, and Singapore spend on luxury goods is way more than what customers are spending in Western Europe and North America. And these are just the facts. Like, the numbers are out there if you want to go and look them up yourselves. Why on earth would you do this? Like, from a business point of view, why? Why? When this story came out, I was like, I know you are effing lying. Like, there's no way. There's no way. And then I thought it was so interesting how they like apologized to her, and then someone else reached out from the company basically to try and make a workaround. It's like, you have already tainted and stained the experience for this customer. This isn't someone complaining about, Big H dragging them, but they're not buying items and stuff. This isn't a situation like that. This is someone who's spending 6 figures, sometimes 7 figures a year, these couture customers, on clothing. Someone spending 100K, 200K on luxury clothing without the hope of getting a quote back from Hermes, without the hope of getting something unique from Louis Vuitton or whatever. That is a completely different customer to people who are just, if people just see themselves as like collectors of leather goods, if that makes sense. This is a completely different world. I cannot believe that they would do this. Like, I remember when this story came out, I was like, Giambattista Valli, baby, you guys are bang out of order. Now, I remember like seeing people's like opinions on social media about this, and people were blaming the designer. He's obviously not really to blame. It's obviously his employees and the executives that work for him, who obviously dropped the ball. Someone in the sales team dropped the ball, and someone in the VIP team dropped the ball as well. So I'd love to know what you guys think about this. I cannot wait to hear the comments and opinions. As far as I'm concerned, if I pay for something, it's mine. I think that Giambattista Valli as a house was wrong. What they should have done is, if that whole exclusivity thing happens in haute couture, that's fine if it's an industry standard, but they should have reminded her when she put her deposit down, because she said that she low-key called them poor in WWD. She said they didn't have any money to fly anyone over to Shanghai to fit her in her crib. That's what she said. Okay, this is my kind of person, because she literally called them poor and said they don't have no money. Okay, but when she was in Paris, like putting the deposit for the outfit, what they should have said in Paris is like, well, obviously first, thank you for depositing and buying, but also, by the way, FYI, would you like to have exclusivity? I love how she said Valentino and Giorgio Armani had approached her about things that she has ordered from them and worn, and said, we would like Lady Gaga to offer this to Lady Gaga. Do we, like, we're letting you know as a sign of respect, and to Julianne Moore, again, as a sign of respect. I don't understand how you can treat people like this. Luxury brands are going to learn the hard way. Social media has changed things, particularly TikTok. People just go on video now and blast these brands. She's obviously a very wealthy lady. She doesn't care. She's not going to be blacklisted. I'm sure any fashion house, I'm sure Dior would love to have her money. I'm sure Chanel Couture would love to welcome her with open arms. I'm sure Valentino and Armani Privé would love to have her back. So it's their loss, at this level of spending 100,000 a year, 200,000 a year on clothes is completely different than people who are spending 6 figures a year on like leather goods. It's just a different world. It's still a lot of money, but 100K on clothes, 200K on clothes, that's stuff that's made to like for you. You can't resell that. You can't, resell it. You can't like buy it for an investment like the way people do in the leather goods space. It's really about you and you really seeing the value of these brands. So yeah, I mean, they're gonna learn the hard way. These brands are gonna learn the hard way. She must be spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, pounds, euros, maybe even millions of dollars a year on clothing. That's why she's been featured in this. In this piece, and that's why this has come to light. Giambattista Valli's house was wrong for this. I think it's really unprofessional to offer the dress to a celebrity without telling the customer first. Even if she didn't mention exclusivity, it was on the essays at the showroom's job to say to her, by the way, do you want exclusivity on this, yes or no? There's an extra fee. Okay. They were wrong. I don't see any like example where Jan Batista Valley's team was right for this. And I think that their statement to WWD was really arrogant. Like, well, she didn't ask for exclusivity. That's not the correct statement. The correct statement is, from a PR point of view, I'm really, really sorry about what happened. This was a miscommunication, and we take full responsibility because we were wrong. We should have alerted her and just reminded her. We believe that she was aware that that you have to pay an exclusivity fee. But honestly, we should have reminded her because she is our client. In my experience, when I had my own beauty stores, the people who spend the most are the easiest people to deal with, and the people who spend the least are really difficult, always trying to return things, always trying to pick and nitpick at things. This is obviously someone who spends 6, 7 figures a year on custom clothing that is made to fit her. This is not someone who is being difficult but isn't backing it up. This is obviously a very wealthy woman who has a ton of money. And if she is standing on business and telling WWD that Jan Batista Valley treated me like this, then I think it's something that we should pay attention to. And I hope that couture houses don't make fun of clients, because a couture customer doesn't come every day. Okay? Ready to wear customers, those people will be coming every day. Couture people are not coming in every day. These products are very expensive. Dior wedding dresses start at 100,000 euros for like the custom Dior couture wedding dresses. Like, these things are not cheap. So I think a little bit of respect will go a long way. What do you guys think about this story? And what are your thoughts on everything? Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Sign up to the email newsletter as well. I'd love to have you there. And I'd love to see you guys in the email. And also, yeah, subscribe to this channel if you like dragging videos. I'll have a lot of them in February. So make sure that you stick around for those videos as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon in my next video.